Hey everyone, this is DWS Darius and welcome to another day in a fish room. So if you see my aquariums, you may have noticed that in all my tanks I have live plants. Today I want to give you guys a look at how and why I have them in my aquariums. Okay everyone, so yeah, in all my aquariums, if you take a good look, you can find some type of plant, whether it's an aquatic plant that lives under the water, whether it's a floating plant, or whether it's a terrestrial plant that I have growing out of the top of the tank. There's some type of plant in all my aquariums. Even my 40-gallon reef aquarium, which is a saltwater tank, and a tank in my sump, I have macroalgae, which is kind of like the saltwater version of live plants. So first I want to explain how it all started. So I first started off with my 155-gallon Planet aquarium, inspired of course by YouTube videos. Originally I knew nothing about Planet tanks until I saw a few videos, and I started with that 55-gallon aquarium over there. Eventually, after like the first year of struggling, I finally got a hang of understanding balance in a Planet tank, because in a Planet tank to have success, you gotta have a balance of light, of CO2, and of substrate, nutrients and all that, just to get the most success from your plants. Once I got a clear understanding of that, my plants started to actually live, and then they started to grow. And eventually, when my plants started to overstock the tank, instead of throwing them away or selling them, I simply just moved them to other aquariums, and that's how my second Planet tank was born. All the cryptospirales that you see inside this 75-gallon aquarium, all of this came from this 55. So all the growth and just all the plants that just kept being produced, I just started to simply move them to my other aquariums, and that's pretty much how most of my tanks now have plants. You see in this 125-gallon Planet tank, I have a lot of anacharis. That anacharis I was growing out in my backyard pond. Outside, that growth on that stuff is just amazing. So right before winter, I brought some into this tank. I also have some in that 20-gallon tank down there, and I have some floated in this 55-gallon tank. So pretty much all the plants that I have in my aquariums, I started from one source, and I saw so much success, and instead of throwing the plants away, I just started to spread them to my aquariums. And that's pretty much why I have all these plants in my tanks. So there's two main reasons why I enjoy keeping plants in my aquariums. One, because of the look of it. I think plants just really bring a lot to the aquarium as far as the aquascape. It looks really natural, and just the greenery, the different shapes and sizes of plants. Plants come in all different shapes, all different sizes, and a few different tones. And I think all of that really helps the aquascape look really cool, really natural. Me, I love my natural aquariums, and I think plants are just essential in making my tank as natural as possible. Now the main reason why I enjoy plants in my aquariums is because they bring just a ton of benefits to the aquarium. So the first benefit that I really like is the fact that plants produce oxygen for our waters. This is very important because these fish are trapped in this glass box, and the more oxygen, just the better their overall health. The next reason why I enjoy plants is because they help remove harmful chemicals like ammonia that's produced by the fish, nitrites, and just waste that's produced by the fish. And Planet tanks, especially Planet tanks with a lot of compact plants like these two tanks over here, all the fish poop and all that stuff, I don't have to siphon it out because the plants consume it, and that's just very beneficial for the environment of this aquarium. And really the last benefit of plants is that they help compete with algae. Now this is even seen in my 40-gallon reef aquarium. I have two little DIY refugiums with macroalgae, and I think that this definitely is helping with my total algae amounts in my aquarium. I see a lot of people with reef aquariums have a lot of problems with algae because in reef aquariums there's just so much to support algae life, a ton of light, a ton of nutrients in the water, and that's ingredients for crazy algae outbreaks. But I think this refugium in the back of my reef aquarium with these plants is definitely helping, because these plants are competing for the same elements and nutrients that the algae is competing with. And the same thing in freshwater tanks. Your plants, they compete with algae, and the more success you have with your plants is the more or the less algae you'll see in your aquarium. So, you know, plants, they look awesome and they definitely have a benefit in your aquarium. Now, if any of you don't have luck with aquatic plants, or you just your fish don't really appreciate or take care of your aquatic plants, there's always the option to do what I did once again in my 125 gallon African cichlid tank. To plant these fish, they don't appreciate plants once again. So what I did was added some terrestrial plants just to go above the aquarium. Now, the only thing you need for these terrestrial plants is light, of course. Now, in this basement, I don't get a lot of natural light. These plants are low light plants, but you gotta have some source of light. So in this basement, I only have like 2 windows, one over there, one in the bathroom. I have one in there, one over here, but it's like an air conditioner in there, so that's like ineffective. But you gotta have some source of natural light. Now, because I don't have natural light, I have my aquarium light about 6 inches above the water, and that's enough space to provide a little bit of light for these plants. And look at that, this much light, and look at how much growth I'm getting. Originally, when I added this stem, it was probably, you cut off that, about the size of that, and now it's about, if I had to guess, about 3 feet long. So really low demanding. Now, the thing about these terrestrial plants, they may not provide a lot of oxygen for your waters, because with the aquatic plants, the leaves, they're under the water and they're consuming CO2 and they're producing oxygen. These are producing oxygen for you, the people, or the person, or just, it's creating oxygen just for the room, but not so much for the tank. However, it's still consuming a lot of the ammonia, nitrites, and just waste in your aquarium waters. So if you just don't have success with aquatic plants, or if your fish like to destroy them, this is an option for you, just to get some of that benefit of aquarium or just plants in your aquarium. Okay everyone, so that's been a look at my fish room, which has a lot of aquatic plants in them, and for good reason. So as always, if you have any opinions or thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because as you can see, I have a lot of fish tanks, a lot of stuff inside of those fish tanks, and just overall a lot of awesomeness. Catch you guys in the next one, and I'll see you later.